Hello and welcome to Elden Ring. This is the road to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. I'm doing a pure strength melee build here, so we're going to be starting with the Vagabond class. Now that we have our class set up, we're going to be taking the Golden Seed as our keepsake, and let's get into it. So we're going to come in here and attempt the Grafted Scion, just trying to get back into Elden Ring after playing a lot of Sekiro and Lies of P lately. After that, we're going to come in here and finish off Soldier of Goddard pretty quick. Just grab a few extra runes on the way out the door, heading out to the overworld. And here we are in Limgrave. First things first, we're going to head to the Church of Ella, grab the smithing stones, and talk to our boy Kale, and pick up our crafting kit. And now on to the Gatefront Ruins, we're going to grab the Lord Sworn Greatsword. That's going to be our weapon for the first little bit of this run. Now that we have our weapon, we're going to go over here and talk to our waifu, Melina. From her, we get access to Torrent, and now we can get around the map a whole lot easier. So first thing, we're going to head over to Alexander. We're going to help him out since he's in a bit of a tight spot here. And of course, we're going to promptly murder him and take his talisman. After his little dad joke here, we are going to head on over here and meet D. He's of course going to warn us about the enemy coming up in Summonwater Village. That enemy, as you can see here, is the Tibia Mariner. Now, I'm pretty under-leveled for this. Of course, have no upgrades on my weapon. So this one's going to take quite a while. So here are the highlights. Enjoy. Alright, and the Tibia Mariner is no more. That's going to give us some runes again for leveling. Then we're going to walk right over here, use a Stone Sword key, and pick up the Great Turtle Talisman. This is going to be a primary talisman of ours for pretty much the whole run. We're going to head to the Third Church of Marika. We're going to grab the Flask of Wondrous Physic. We're going to go out behind it and grab that teleporter to take us to Garank. Once we arrive here in Dragonburrow at the Bestial Sanctum, we are going to go speak with him. Give him our death root. He's going to give us the seal we're going to be using for our buff spells later, as well as a beast eye. Alright, after we talk to him, we're going to head outside, grab the golden seed, continue on down the hill to the side of Grace. Once we're here, Melina is going to arrive and once again make us an offer, this time to take us to Roundtable Hold, which functions as the hub for the entire game. Once we arrive there, we're going to run around and chat some people up, get some lore, and then we're going to head down to the Chauffeur River via this giant elevator in Mistwood. Now, we're going to head on a little rune run here. This is super easy to do at this point in the game because these enemies are incredibly slow, and you have pretty much all day to just grab your runes and get out of there. Once we get up to Chauffeur River proper, we're going to just grab the Grace and the map, head back to Mistwood, past the Sleeping Bear at the ruins, and then we're going to come down here and grab our Axe Talisman. This is going to give us enhanced charge attacks. Now that we have that, we're going to head back over to Limgrave and do a little rune run. We're going to go over here, hit this graveyard, fight a wolf, hit another graveyard down the hill. Once we pick up those runes, we're going to head to the Waypoint Ruins, where we will face the Mad Pumpkinhead. And with that, the Mad Pumpkinhead goes down, and we're now going to head out to the overworld, back to Mistwood, to the Minor Erdtree for the Spiked Cracked tier. Once we have that, we'll head over to the ruins, talk to our boy Blythe the Furry. He'll tell us about Darwell the Bloodhound Knight, and we'll go bully him together.
Cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
And now that Darwell is down, we'll head outside, talk to Blythe, and then we're going to ride over to Storm Hill. Once we arrive there, we're going to pick up a golden seed before heading to the Storm Hill shack to talk to our girl Rodrika. She is of course going to meet us later in Roundtable Hold and will be our spirit tuner, even though we're not using any ashes for this run. Once we finish getting that, we're going to head up the hill from here to grab the Strength Knot Crystal tier. Now that we have that prepped, we have an increase in strength as well as charged attacks. Now that we have that, we're going to make a quick Caelid run. We're going to go over here and pick up the Great Sword. Once we get our level up, this will be the sword we pretty much rock with till the very end of the run. Now that we have that, we're going to ride up to Fort Gale here, grab this Grace right before heading around behind the fort, not fighting any enemies. And between these Flame Chariots, we're going to pick up Flame Grant Me Strength, which will be one of our 2 buff spells. After that, we're going to head to the Bridge of Sacrifice, which leads us into Weeping Peninsula, and that is going to do it for episode 1 of the Road to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. In the next episode, we will be taking on the majority of the Weeping Peninsula, as well as going back to Limgrave. It will be more boss battles. This first episode, a lot of just gathering like you know to do at the beginning of the game. We're running a strength melee build here. So we're going to be using a couple different spells. It's going to be much later in the game before we really get access to those. But for now, we're going to work on getting our level up so that we can wield the Great Sword. And once we have that going, it will pretty much be all muscle, no brain for the rest of the run, just pancaking enemies. So I hope you've enjoyed this run, and you'll look forward to the next episode of the Road to the Shadow of the Erdtree. And with that, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.